Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for the Total Security Solutions webinar on live fire product demonstration. And I've got a little bit of echo going on here from my tablet. We are glad that you're here to join us today. Today we'll be talking about security for corporate offices. And joining me today, I'm Paul Levine, and your host today. Joining me will be Bob George. Bob is a senior consultant for Total Security Solutions. And for today, we will be doing, sorry, I'm trying to kill off this. There we go. Today we'll be doing three parts to this webinar. First off, we'll have best practices talking points. Bob will talk us through best practices for corporate offices and distribution facilities. And then we're going to do a live fire product demonstration with the items here. So Bob, if you can tell us what is the product that we have here today?
Sure, Paul. What we've got here to start, we have a piece of level 3 glazing. This is our laminated polycarbonate acrylic. It's called LP1250BR, and it's an acrylic core with a polycarbonate cap sheet, which I'll go over in a little bit. This is also UL level 3 half-inch fiberglass, and it's encapsulated in our BL 1.75 aluminum framing system that's rated up through a UL level 3.
All right, thank you. After we do the live fire part, then we will come back. We will actually show you the back of the sheets and everything. And then after that, we will take and do a live question and answer session with you. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Bob, and he's going to talk about best practices.
Okay, let's just start with a quick overview as far as the UL 752 protection in general, what that carries or what that covers. UL 752 is the Underwriter's Laboratory category for bullet-resistant protection. It starts at a UL level 1 as the lowest level of protection and goes up to a UL level 8. The first three levels are for handguns, level 1 being the small, easiest ones that conceal, up to a level 3, which covers you for all handguns. After level 3, you're into high-powered rifles, with UL level 8 being the highest. So for corporate offices, we'll do a quick overview, and then I'll give you a general idea of the products and levels most used in those settings. Typically for ballistic glazing products, for interiors, usually acrylic, uncoated, or coated, covers UL levels 1 and 2. We also have polycarbonates that range from levels 1 through 3. There's also a mixture of laminates of those as well that can go up through levels 1 through 3. But then there's also glass products, glass-clad polycarbonate products that range from levels 1 through 8. For exterior use, there's a few different types of products. We do recommend using glass in most situations. We offer a level 1 product called our Defender Insulated Glass, which is a series of products that offer a forced entry rating, ballistic protection up to UL level 1, but are also insulated air gap glass, which you can add all types of other products as far as tint, low E, argon, whatever value you're trying to get to. We also offer the glass-clad polycarbonate products as well for exteriors. Those range from levels 1 through 8. Also, as far as products, it's not all just glazing. We also offer opaque materials as well that you would put in, say, a wall, stud wall or millwork. That's called ballistic fiberglass, and that ranges from levels 1 through 8. Then we also offer framing systems, like I suggested here. Those go from aluminum. We have steel. Those range from levels 1 through 8, rated products, but we also offer non-rated versions of these as well for the cost conscious. Moving on to doors, we offer a variety of products. We have aluminum, which ranges from levels 1 through 8, steel as well, 1 through 8, wood, 1 through 5, glass. All glass products go from levels 1 through 3, and then we also offer acrylic and polycarbonate full vision doors as well. Those range from levels 1 through 3. Now all these doors come with the options of doing either, depending on what type of door it is, you can do full vision, half vision, view windows, or flush panels, depending on what type of product you go with. Also, we have many transaction window systems, barrier systems, key components, voice transmission. How are you going to communicate with your customers? You're going to go with a simple hole and backer voice port for someone who's a little more cost conscious, or go with a full fixed window system using our arched or vertical baffle window systems for better sound transfer. If you have bigger products to pass, we offer a whole range of package passers, through-wall drawers, horizontal sliding windows. We have deal trays and all types of other products to make sure you can pass the products you need to, anything large or small as cash, badges, or as big as a package coming from UPS. So we offer those as well. So from here, Paul's going to come back in, do a quick overview, and then I think we're going to get to shooting the products.
All right, thank you, everyone. One thing that I just want to state is please do enter your questions anytime during the webinar. Use the Q&A button on the Zoom webinar interface. So put them in now. That'll help us out when it comes time after we're done with the shooting. So Bob and I are going to step off camera now, and our range master is going to go ahead and step up into position and begin shooting. All right, thank you very much. And Bob's going to come back around here, and we're going to take a look at the product and how it performed. So okay. Bob, if you want to come on this side.
Sure. So you can see here with the LP1250BR, again, that's an acrylic core with polycarbonate cap sheets giving you a UL level 3 protection. You can see here 3 bullets. That's the standard test for that level. You can see that the bullet came in, the polycarbonate helped absorb it, acrylic helped keep it together. No penetration in the back. And you can see here with the ballistic level 3 fiberglass, 1/2 inch, 3-shot tests like they do in the laboratories. No penetration in the back. And then we can take a look back here to see with the fiberglass, it encaptures it completely, so there was no ricochet. You can see a slight bulge here and here, but absolutely no penetration. And again, with the laminated poly acrylic, again, nothing came through whatsoever, slight bulges, but everything's captured within the glazing. Again, no ricochet, held up 100% to the shot test. And again, that's the minimum testing.
All right. One other thing that I will point out here is in the front, since this is a laminated polycarbonate with the polycarbonate cap sheet there, there's nothing on the front. There's no spalling on that. And same thing in the back. There's no spalling since nothing penetrates. Perfectly safe on the back side. So product performed excellent. All right. Let's change over and we'll start taking questions.
Sounds good.
So taking a look here at submitted questions. First question I have is, what would be the most common UL level of product that you would see in corporate offices?
Sure. I would say between UL levels 1 and 3, I see 1 and 3 most common for that type of setting. Level 1 is a deterrent, so if you're cost conscious but you want something up in protection, whether it's a vestibule area, a reception desk, your front entrance doors, whether it's a safe room, typically level 1 is the most common for the people that are looking for a peace of mind of having some protection, but they don't want to break the bank. But if you're looking for full coverage, I would say UL level 3 covers you for all handguns. And typically we'll see that on front entrances to whether it's an exterior or interior entrance to an office, the reception desk area, You could also see it in certain areas within that I think we're going to probably touch base here in a little bit. But yeah, UL level's 1, but 3 is probably the most common.
Okay. And related to that, in the UL level, what type of glazing or glass do you normally see? Is it just, your choices there? Is it acrylic at that point, or laminated polycarbonate, or are people actually going to the glass-clad polycarbonate?
I would say UL level 3, and we'll focus on that. Typically, it would be this product for an interior. If you had a reception desk, some sort of check-in area as you're walking into the office, typically we'll see this laminated poly acrylic material, which is our LP1250BR. That's typically used in that setting. It's a lighter material. It's crystal clear compared to an all polycarbonate material. It's lighter than glass. It's just a little bit easier to work with, and a lot of times you're retrofitting an existing office space, so the existing millwork might not be able to handle a real heavy product like a glass, which could be twice the weight of this. So it's easier to work with as far as doing miters, holes, edge polishing. This is the product to go with. As far as an exterior product, say you have exterior doors, exterior windows that you're looking for protection, maybe around certain office areas, I would recommend our glass-clad polycarbonate material, which is called our TSS003 low spall. And that is a glass-clad poly makeup, a couple layers of glass, polycarbonate, then glass. Typically that'll hold up better to the weather over time and people putting their hands on it as they're opening the doors in and out.
All right, excellent. So related to the interior and that, in the corporate main entrances, what level, you were saying probably the GCP product, but what level would you suggest in corporate main entrances?
I would say a level 3. Occasionally, I think level 3 covers you, it does cover you for all handguns. So right there you have the protection. It's an affordable product. Sometimes when you start getting, and it's, the product itself is lighter, but once you get over that level 3, I touched on it briefly, when you go to a level 4 and above for high-powered rifles, you're only into glass-clad products. So you're very limited with what you can do with some of those glass products on the higher levels. So to put in, say, a level 4, which is a high-powered rifle, I have seen people put that in front entrances and then maybe go to a lower level once they're inside, but that initial possible shooter attack, they might go with a UL level 4, which will stop a 30-06, which is a hard test to pass, but most of the time you're going with a UL level 3.
I think you just answered the next question, which was what level is needed to protect against a rifle shot?
Sure. So levels 4 through 8, so 1 through 3, handguns, make that easy to remember. 4 through 8 are high-powered rifles. Level 4, again, we just touched on, is a 30-06. Very tough test to pass because of the weight of the bullet and the speed in which it's coming out. They can go all the way up to a UL level 8. In the corporate office settings, typically you'll see a level 3, sometimes maybe a level 4, you'll see a level 1, but sometimes only governmental offices may go higher than a level 3. Typically most private corporations stick with a UL level 3.
All right. I think you touched on this, but once you're past the main entrances and the lobby area and whatnot, and you get back into executive offices, what type of products do you typically see to protect the executive suites?
Sure. So again, you'll see a UL level 3. I've seen on many executive office levels or areas of the floor where they might be, they'll go with some all glass door products. UL level 3 is what those come in, no higher than that because of the weight of the doors. But typically you'll see all glass doors kind of into that executive office area. Sometimes you'll see on their actual doors themselves into the offices, you'll see possibly an ornate wood core door at a UL level 3. You can do flush panel wood doors. We can match the veneer within the office. They can also do plastic laminates. So there's different things we can do to match the settings, what's in there if it's a retrofit type situation. But typically in executive suites, it's usually a UL level 3.
Okay.
All glass doors, wood doors.
Well, the next question touches on what you just said about retrofit. It says, what options are there for existing glass entrances without complete replacement?
So just speaking from certain examples of projects that we've done and completed, typically if you're looking to go in, a lot of times if you're going into a front entrance of a building and looking to replace those doors, it's very difficult to pull the frames out of the existing wall makeup. So if it's, say it's a steel door with hollow metal frames, it's very difficult to pull that steel frame out because it's grouted into the masonry. So a lot of times we can retrofit, we can replace just the doors and mount them into the existing frame. Now sometimes with storefront, it's a little bit easier to pull out the storefront frames. We can pull out the storefront frame if necessary. I mean, a lot of times we can work with it. We can pull it out. However, if we have to work with it because it's the way it's constructed, you only have to make sure that the stop on the door opening is removable of some sort, because our ballistic doors, our aluminum doors specifically, are thicker than standard storefront doors. They come in at about 2 3/8. The standard door is typically 1 3/4 inches. Okay. So sometimes you have to adjust the stop on there. However, all of our other doors are typically anywhere from 1 3/4 inches, which is standard construction thickness. But they could go down as thin as 1 1/4 inches if you're doing all glass doors, but typically those are on the inside.
So I think one of the important points that you made in that is one of the differentiating factors for us at Total Security Solutions is our 3 uniques: speed, customization, and customer service. So that middle one, customization, well, like you said, we don't have to necessarily replace and pull out the frame. We custom make the door to fit your specification. It's not that you have to take and retrofit things to fit our product. We'll manufacture the product to your specs.
Yeah, and we can do that on some type of site visit, but I think we'll touch base on that a little bit here.
So related to this, so that's the door for entrances and whatnot, but for exterior windows around a building, if we don't want to replace the insulated glass that's already there, we have a back glazing product. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure, Paul. There's a couple different ways to do it. So if you're looking to do certain offices, the exterior glass, certain parts of the building, if not maybe all the first floor, sometimes you can replace the glass itself, like Paul touched on. Usually it's 1-inch insulated glass. The issue we run into is that if you're looking to, say, get UL level 3 protection, the glass is 1 1/4 inches thick, so it's too thick to put into the existing framing system. So we can do a couple different things. We could take out the existing glass, put 2-piece channel around the opening, and then put in the 1 1/4 inch glass. The channel will accept the 1 1/4 inch. However, that could change the aesthetics of the building, which, most people are, not as receptive to. So like Paul touched on, we can do a back glaze system, which is basically a separate window that's behind the existing window on the interior. And depending on what the layout is of the interior sill and framing system, we can mount either a fixed window or we can put an operable back glazed window for whatever level of protection you're looking for, typically level 3. We can hinge it, so you can open it, so you can clean on in the inside. We like to leave a little gap at the top, so prevent condensation. But you can open it up, clean it out. If any bugs or dust get in there, you can get it cleaned out. But we just literally mount it to the inside of the frame with either a 2-piece channel system, or we can hinge it almost like a mini door. Nice. And we put it on there, and we can put a little handle on it, lock, or latch, however you want to be able to close it. And then when they come in to clean it, you can easily open it. It's 100% safe, and then you've got your level 3 protection.
On that. And less expensive than ripping everything out and putting brand new.
Absolutely, and you're also looking to keep the aesthetics of the building. Obviously, if they're insulated windows, you don't want to lose that, and you wouldn't lose any of that if we can back glaze on the inside. Most of the times, I'd say 9 times out of 10, that's typically what they end up doing on a retrofit.
All right. Related on the same question was a question about putting film on glass. So what I'll say about that is putting film on your existing glass. Film does not bulletproof glass. There is a video on our website. If you go into the video gallery, you'll find it, or on our YouTube channel, that shows security window film or bullet-resistant glazing or glass, and it demonstrates that very much so. Now, a lot of times people will put film in to delay entry, so if there is somebody trying to break through. One thing I will point out about the ballistic glazing is the makeup of this, it stops bullets and it also stops people. So I've taken and done demonstrations where I've shot it up, even more shots than this, and then I've taken a 2-pound sledgehammer and just beat on it until I was tired. Eventually somebody will get through, but by that time, anybody behind it is gone and they're to safety.
Sure.
So we are definitely advocates of the bullet-resistant glazing is the way to go there. Question here is regarding bullet-resistant aluminum framing. What wall thickness options do you offer? So I think they're talking about frames and what kind of thicknesses.
Sure. Well, this BL 1.75, which is our most common framing system, has a fixed extrusion. So these are 4 inches deep by 1 3/4 inches So they're 4 inches this way, 1 3/4 profile, plus the 2-piece channel system. We also have a BL 5.5, so this will cover you up to a UL level 3. Our BL 5.5 is a similar profile, but a little bit thicker because it's stopping anywhere from a level 4 through a level 8. That's about 5.5 inches deep as well, 1 3/4 as well. So this profile is the same. It's just a little bit deeper of a framing system. We also offer a ballistic thermally improved frame as well for exteriors. I believe that finishes around 6 3/8, somewhere between 6 1/4 and 6 3/8 as well, with a 2-inch to 2.5-inch profile. And then there's framing, there's hollow metal systems, and then we can do different things with that. But in general, these are 4 inches and 5.5 inches deep.
So what I'm hearing is a lot of options. And again, remember, everything that we produce is custom fabricated to your needs on that. So, all right, another question here. How long does it take? Somebody's asking, how many rounds will it take to breach a UL level 3 product? I really can't give you a direct answer on that. It's all going to depend on the size of the product, how close the rounds are, and all of that. I can tell you that in previous shoots that we've done, that I've done, I've actually put in this exact same configuration here, a 2-foot by 2-foot piece, I've put 11 rounds in before the back cap sheet split on that. That's just one example, of personal experience with it. So the products are definitely over-engineered.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the test, of course, for UL level 3 is 3 shots
at a minimum
on this.
Yep.
In a certain configuration and all.
But you also did shoot a UL level 4 too on a level 3 product, and it held up. So
yeah, we had another.
There's no certification for that,
right?
But like Paul said, they do overperform.
Yeah, we had a live demonstration where we were shooting a level 3 product with a 5.56 round, and it held up. All right. Next up, the question is, can the LP 1250 be retrofitted over existing glass? And I think that would be using the retrofit
back glazing
system.
I would recommend back glazing. And like I said, you could even do fixed systems, but we like to leave a little bit of an air gap in there between the glazing, the existing and the new, and possibly a little gap at the top again for condensation so that doesn't build up. However, a lot of times people want to get back in there and open those so they can clean them, whether it's dust or bugs. So I would recommend hinging it if possible.
Okay. Another question that's come in is, do you collaborate with artists early on during the design process?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, architects and absolutely.
Contractors.
Absolutely. Actually, we recommend it if you can get to us ahead of time before jobs go out to bid. Usually by that time it's too late with RFIs to find out the exact information. I see the most successful projects are typically when an end user or an architect will reach out to us and really kind of go through the products. They tell us, I'll ask them what their needs are, what they're trying to accomplish. And then from there, we'll kind of go through the levels of protection, the areas they're looking to protect, and we'll walk through different options and what's most important to the customer so that they get something that aesthetically looks good. It fits the rest of the building if it's a retrofit or if it's new construction. And we really work to make sure the flow of everything is going to work for their business, whether it's a private or a public.
All right, so another question that's come in is, can you make a safe room out of existing rooms? So I'll relate this to, we talked about executive suites and doing things there, but what about everybody else in the company? Taking conference rooms and retrofitting those into safe rooms. How do you do that?
Well, just as important, obviously, as the CEOs, you want to protect your people. So we're seeing more and more safe rooms within the office setting. So they might pick a conference room or another office where they know they can get everybody in there. And then what they'll do is, say there's one door or maybe 2 doors into that area, they'll make those both ballistic. So we'll go in, we'll put in new ballistic doors, new framing. But then also you can protect the perimeter with our ballistic fiberglass, which again is this material. It's an unfinished material, so it needs to be covered. Typically, put these on the studs, and then cover it with drywall, sheetrock, whatever you like to call it. Cover it, finish it, so that you have one room that everybody in the office setting could get to if there, God forbid, there was an active shooter. or some sort of incident within the office or at the front, everyone can go into that room. Typically, they pick one central area that everyone can get to quickly, and then they can have a complete lockdown. Then they also, just as important, is the door hardware as well. Make sure you have a certain type of lock set. We would recommend a mortise lock set for something like that, so that people can be locked down and safe until first responders can get there.
All right, excellent. So this question is related. We've been talking about corporate offices on that, but this question is, what about other facilities? And I'll point out things like distribution facilities, IT centers, and that. What can you do, or what do you see people doing with those with ballistic products? Sure.
Well, we've seen on quite a few companies, specifically they'll do like a distribution centers. They'll actually have like a larger check-in area, because there have been incidents over the years at these types of businesses. And we've always done like a simple check-in point, like almost, we can build a complete vestibule or reception area that, we've done them as much as, we're putting in the millwork with the ballistic fiberglass, ballistic glazing to a certain point. This depends on aesthetically how you want it to look. If it's an existing office, or say it's something that's a standalone in the middle of the distribution center, we can do like almost a little checkpoint security area so that you can have your security person there. They can mount all their monitors. We can build the entire platform, raise it, stairs, put a door on it, glass up, however high you want to go, 12 to 3 feet high with ballistic protection in the walls and glass up top. And we can kind of fit it into any setting you have. And again, like on-site type of visits are very recommended. If we can go there and see what you have exactly, and then we can kind of tailor it to what you need to make sure that your facility is safe and your people are protected.
Well, you just went into one of the other questions, is do you do on-site assessments and consulting?
We do. It's hard to get out for every single one of them, but discussing with people, if it's a situation where we can't get it all figured out on the phone or even on a Zoom call, we're more than happy to set up an appointment to come out and visit and really do a site assessment on the whole area as far as doors, windows, whether it's exterior windows, exterior doors, interior doors, reception area, front entrance, whether it's the exterior or interior front entrance at the vestibule, and really give you an assessment of what we think would be best for you depending on the flow of traffic in your building.
Okay, excellent. This question is, do corporations need or use bulletproof materials and security and help desks and lobbies? I think you just talked about this because with the distribution facilities.
Absolutely.
But you'll see it also in just the lobbies of entrances?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that sometimes they might not even do the exterior doors. They like to focus on, say, a second set of interior doors in a vestibule, like kind of foyer or entrance section, or even the reception area is usually really important. So, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So we've been talking about doing assessments and consulting and all of that. Does TSS install?
Yeah, absolutely. We install all over the country. We furnish all over the place, overseas, Canada, Caribbean, but we do installations throughout the U.S.
All right. And with the installations, the last question that we'll do, and then we're going to wrap it up, is how long does my office have to be a construction zone?
Well, it depends on the size of the project, but we try to not disrupt your daily business. So we will work over a weekend. We can work at night on off hours. But, depending on the size of the project, so it's hard to say. But, your standard project, might just be a couple days of us in there.
On that. I know we've done, again, on our website, if you go to our YouTube channel, you can see some time-lapse installation videos that will show overnight, where we walk in, overnight the team does all their work, the office opens up in the morning and everything as if nothing happened, but now there's the protection in place.
I'd say most projects are done over one night.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much. We're at the limit of our time here. So again, I'm Paul Levine and Bob George with Total Security Solutions. If we didn't get to your question, we will answer it afterwards. We'll follow up with you. And this video, a recorded version, will be available and posted to the video gallery section of our website in approximately 1 week. When that is posted, we will also send out an email to everybody who showed up for the webinar today to let you know that it's there. We hope that you'll share it with other people in your organization who weren't able to join us today. So thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you.